Hidden within the rolling landscapes of Ohio lies one of the most fascinating and enigmatic remnants of ancient North America. The Hopewell Mound Group was constructed by the Hopewell Culture between approximately 200 BC and 500 AD. These massive earthworks were more than just burial mounds, they were probably centers of ritual, celestial observation, and, of course, the long distance trade hubs. It reveals a civilization far more sophisticated than mainstream will believe. The Hopewell Mound Group was among the largest and most intricate of all known Hopewell earthworks, covering over 100 acres of land. This vast enclosure consisted of geometric embankments, circular and rectangular formations, and of course the towering mounds that we still marvel at today, some stretching nearly 30 feet high, and we can only safely assume that they would have stretched higher in their heyday. These structures weren't placed at random. The precise orientation of the walls and mounds suggests an advanced understanding of mathematics, astronomy, and what we can only deem sacred geometry. But what purpose did these earthworks exactly serve? Were they solely burial sites, or did they hold a deeper cultural significance? The answer appears to be both practical and spiritual. First and foremost, the mounds were ceremonial centers. Archaeological evidence suggests that large gatherings did take place here, possibly for some sort of religious ritual or some sort of social bonding, or perhaps even more political ideas like trade negotiations and things like this. Some believe the mounds functioned like different pilgrimage sites, drawing people from across the region for major ceremonial events. So it most certainly would have been a political influence in some way, shape, or form. Second, the Hopewell earthworks were also astronomical markers. The Hopewell appear to have been keen observers of the sky, aligning their mounds with celestial bodies such as the moon, the sun, and the stars. The orientation of certain walls and pathways seems to correspond with solstices and lunar cycles, much like other ancient sites across the world, such as Stonehenge or the Mayan pyramids. This suggests that the Hopewell may have used their earthworks to track time, to mark seasons, and conduct different rituals based on said tracking time and marking seasons. Trade was, of course, another key component of the Hopewell culture, and the mounds were at the heart of it all. Archaeologists have discovered artifacts within these earthworks made from materials that originated thousands of miles away. Obsidian from the Rocky Mountains, copper from the Great Lakes, mica from the Appalachian Mountains, and even marine shells from the Gulf of Mexico. And such findings indicate a very expansive trade network, allowing the Hopewell people to exchange goods, ideas, and spiritual beliefs across vast distances. Yet the mounds also served as places of burial and reverence for the dead, which indicates a deep religious aspect, of course. Inside these mounds, archaeologists have unearthed elaborate tombs, some containing beautifully crafted artifacts, different ceremonial weapons and armor pieces, and intricate effigies carved from stone and bone. These items were not just buried haphazardly. They were deliberately placed in ways that reflect a highly structured and ritualistic belief system, so we think. Perhaps an early form of ancestor worship or a way to ensure the deceased's journey to the afterlife, so we think. Now, the first detailed study of the Hopewell Mound Group, in particular here, occurred in the 19th century, when two pioneering American archaeologists, Mr. Ephraim Squire and Edwin Davis, conducted extensive excavations and mapped the site with remarkable accuracy. At a time when little was known about the pre-Columbian civilizations of North America, their work provided the first glimpses into the complexity of what we now deem the Hopewell culture. Now, however, the excavation methods of the time were far from precise. Many artifacts were removed without proper documentation, and entire sections of mounds were destroyed in the process of these excavations. And still, Even with this being said, their findings were groundbreaking. They uncovered burial chambers lined with logs filled with ceremonial objects, things like copper tools and finely carved pipes shaped like animals and human figures. These discoveries suggest that the Hopewell people had a deep spiritual connection to both nature and, well, what we can deem the cosmos, or perhaps a spiritual endeavor. Now, by the 1920s, another archaeologist, Mr. Henry Chatrone, led additional excavations that provided even more insight into the Hopewell Mound Group. His team discovered evidence of wooden structures within the mounds, possibly temples or gathering halls used for sacred rituals before being intentionally buried. Now, Henry also uncovered intricate jewelry, different effigy figurines, and artifacts that hinted at long-distance trade, confirming what earlier researchers had also suspected. Now, unfortunately, much of the original mound complex of the Hopewell Mound Group did not survive the test of time. The arrival of European settlers and the expansion of agriculture in the 19th and 20th centuries, even today, led to significant destruction of the sites. Farming practices leveled many of the earthworks, and early excavators, unaware of modern archaeological methods, often removed artifacts without recording their precise locations. And of course, this plays a key factor in how we assess archaeological findings, right? Now, despite these losses, modern archaeologists have used advanced, non-invasive technologies to learn more about the Hopewell Mound Group. Ground-penetrating radar and LiDAR scanning has revealed burial structures that remained untouched beneath the soil, allowing researchers to map out the site without disturbing it further. Today, the Hopewell Mound Group is protected as part of the Hopewell Culture National Historical Park, ensuring that what remains of this ancient site is preserved for future generations, and visitors can walk the grounds and stand in the shadows of these ancient earthworks, reflecting on the ancient capabilities of ancient people. The Hopewell Mound Group reminds us that long before the arrival of Europeans or other settlers, North America was home to sophisticated and complex societies that understood mathematics, astronomy, agriculture, architecture, and engineering in ways that still fascinate researchers today. These mounds are more than just piles of earth, as we always say. They are a testament to human creativity, to human resilience, and an eternal connection between land, life, and the natural world abroad. Even though the Hopewell people vanished over 1,500 years ago, their legacy remains written in the landscape, an enduring mystery waiting to be fully understood.